Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. I'm Deborah Anderson and we're back in Moreland at Aunt Faye's Community Kitchen. And today I'm going to do a couple of Thanksgiving idea recipes. The first is going to be a pumpkin cream cake. And I'm going to go ahead and get it started and I'll talk about it while I go. But I have a clever idea. This is the first time I've tried this, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to use my attachment and the blender at one time. I'm putting a whole thing of cream cheese in here for the cream cheese layer on this pie. It has 3 layers. And the first time I tried it, okay, I'm going to put the cream cheese in there and then a tablespoon of milk. So that will be mixing while I'm grinding up the crust. We're going to make our own crust for this because it's so easy. And I feel like I can get a little more ratio of what I want in it. Well, I don't want that in there. Okay, so this is my great idea. To make our graham cracker crust, we need 3/3, meaning 1/3 of a package of graham cracker, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, and 1/3 of a cup of butter that's melted. And sometimes I need a little extra to get it to, a little extra butter to get it to stick very well. So I'm going to turn this on and grind up my graham crackers really fast. And it's going to mix up the other stuff while I'm doing it. This is my favorite attachment for my KitchenAid. I use it for breadcrumbs and for cheese. Oh, it shredded some zucchini really nice for a chocolate zucchini cake I made. That was delish. Okay, so see, that doesn't take too long. And in the bottom here, I'm also going to put 1/4 cup of sugar now that the cream cheese is getting soft in there. So our first layer is going to be our graham cracker crust. And then we'll put the cream layer on it. And then I'll need a little break to clean out my mixing bowl so that we can make the pumpkin layer. This is 1/3 cup of melted butter, plus probably another tablespoon or so, just because I know I always need it. So just mix those as well as you can and press it into our deep dish pie plate. Sometimes I think the crust would be better with just a little touch of salt in it, but I'm not going to do that today since I haven't before. But you should try it if you like a little pinch of salt in things. Give me just a second to get this pressed in. It's not going to look too terribly beautiful, but it'll be a nice thick crust. And hopefully I got enough butter to make it stay together. I hate to buy those ones because they kind of always taste a little, I don't know, they taste different. And they're always cracked. It seems like you get them out and they're cracked up. So this one's never really solid to crack, I guess. There's my attachment, and here is my cream cheese layer. After we get this pie set up, we'll make some little stuffing balls that are kind of an appetizer to get everybody ready for Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, I'm going to set this right in the bottom of this, and I will push it down a little. I'll probably push it down rather than spread it, just because I don't want to mangle my crust. So let's get this pushed down as much as we can. And then I'm going to take a short break to clean up. When we come back, we'll put on the pumpkin layer.
The Rusty Tractor in Kensington offers big city dining with a small town feel. The Rusty Tractor features hand-cut steaks, burgers, wraps, and more, all with generous portions and quality products. The Rusty Tractor is proud to serve the area farming communities and welcomes everyone. Come as you are in your boots and jeans. You'll be right at home. Open daily and conveniently located on Highway 36. For more information, find them on Facebook, or for a full menu, visit rustytractorkensington.com.
The easiest way for you to get anywhere in the country is the Hayes Regional Airport. Twice daily flights between Hayes and Denver means you are only 45 minutes from over 100 direct flights to get you to your destination as quick as possible. Service from SkyWest has completely changed the flight experience out of Hayes thanks to the 50-passenger jets that include complimentary beverages and an in-flight restroom. With free parking and short security lines, there has never been a better time to use the Hayes Regional Airport. The next time you travel, check Hayes first at flyhays.com to see the time and money you could save.
Thanks for joining us back on Local Flavor. I am ready to make the pumpkin layer, and the first thing I'm going to do is put in a can of pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, just pumpkin. And sometimes they're thick and sometimes they're thin. This one seems to be a great texture to me. I didn't think I could pour it out. I got one last year that you had to pour out. Now, the reason I like this is because when I grew up, I would not eat any pie except for chocolate cream pie. And so when I got married, I definitely didn't think I liked pumpkin pie at all. I actually still don't like regular pumpkin pie, but I know a lot of people do. But my sister-in-law made this, and it was a way to make the pumpkin taste more like the cream pie that I was used to. So I'm going to put in some spices, so then it will be just like a pumpkin pie spice, pumpkin pie filling. Oh, just a teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, I hope it will fit. And a half teaspoon of ground ginger. And then a quarter teaspoon of cloves, which I don't have a quarter teaspoon, I'll just have to do a half of this one. Don't go over on cloves, they're pretty spicy. And then a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. Go over on nutmeg, it's delightful. I like to put those in at first so they get nice and distributed. Okay, then I'm going to put in 2 packages of pudding mix. I use the cheesecake flavor. These are the 3.4 ounce size. You can use French vanilla or vanilla. I like the cheesecake one. And then I'm going to put a cup of milk. Ooh, I got some on this. So let's let that thicken up. And I'm going to put a little bit of whipped topping. This should have gone in with this, if you must know. Maybe that's why it was so hard to spread. So, close enough. Let's let this get busy. Wow, this is so thick. It is going to be high up there. Okay, I'm going to need to put this in the fridge for about 4 hours to let it set up. After I spread it on the pie. In case. It's looking pretty good. And we all love cheesecake. So this just kind of puts the cream pie, cheesecake, pumpkin pie all in a very friendly flavor. And you don't have to bake it. That's nice too. Ooh, nice. Then we'll put the rest of the whipped topping on it after it sets up. But I'm going to ask someone to come put this in the fridge for me so we can go ahead and get started on our stuffing balls, because time's a-wasting. So let's get my fire started. With the stuffing balls, they're going to be made out of ground pork and stuffing mix. So I've got a pound of ground pork. And I want to chop this up as fine as I can, because otherwise it's harder for the meatball to stick together. But I need to get this cooked down. You don't have to season it. It's not actually called for in the original recipe. I found this in a craft food and family book. They used to give out, maybe they still do, and I just don't get them anymore, but they'd give out free magazines that used craft products. So they did not season it, but I personally think it needs seasoning. So I'm putting in a little bit of sausage and meatloaf seasoning. This is actually really hard to find. I got it on Amazon. And just some salt and pepper. This is a blend. And then just a tiny bit of accent that gives, I didn't put very much at all, but that gives the umami or the deliciousness. So this will take some time to cook down. I'm going to get it as small as I can, and once it's cooked down and I have drained all the fat off of it, we'll put together the rest of the stuffing balls. So I'll see you in a minute.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associate to learn more.
The plumber said there's something wrong with my water. It looks like you have hard water. You need a water softener. Let me show you the options we have. Hey, do you guys deliver salt? We sure do. What about drinking water? We have water coolers and drinking water systems. We even have bottled water.
Find us on Facebook and itsbetterwater.com. And remember,
it's not just water, it's better water!
Hi, welcome back to Local Flavor. I have got my pork all cooked down and drained so that all the fat is off of it. And now I just have a few more things to add to it before I make my balls. And then we cook them at about 325 degrees for 20 minutes. So I got this as tinily chopped as I could, so it's easier to stick together. I'm gonna start, just so I make sure it's nice and cool, I'm starting with a cup of water. And then also to put in, I'll do the egg last so that it doesn't cook itself if this isn't cooled off enough. This is 3/4 of a cup of cranberry sauce. So they'll be kind of sweet and spicy. Not spicy, but salty, sweet and salty. So I'm gonna get those evenly distributed. And then I'm gonna put in 1 egg. Sometimes I add another if they're not sticking together very well, and that helps. Some of those cranberry chunks are pretty big. Then, to make the breading, I'm putting in a whole package of chicken stuffing mix. Ooh, I see a big chunk of flavoring. I'm gonna mix this together well, and then if it looks like it needs another egg, I'll toss another egg in there. I like to put the stuffing mix in last myself, different than the recipe, just so that it doesn't get too terrible soggy. I say another egg is not gonna hurt. Let's do it. Plus that egg kind of thought it had a job to do today. I didn't want to disappoint it. Okay, we're gonna get about 16 balls out of this. So I'm gonna put them on a pan. It suggests lining with foil. I'm lining it with parchment paper because it sticks to the foil, I have found. After we get them formed into balls, I'm gonna brush some butter on them and stick them in the oven. Okay, so I'm gonna get, like I said, about 16 of these out of it. If you have trouble with them sticking, like I thought they were having a little trouble sticking, just let the water absorb into the bread until they're a little stickier. And of course, then you add the second egg. Because it's a binder, that's what we use eggs for. So these give a little, kind of just a little sample of dinner, but it's like an appetizer. Or a serving size if you want to eat them for dinner. Doyle and I eat them for dinner sometimes. We just put 2 on our plate with some side dishes. I thought it'd be good with mashed potatoes and gravy. When I have them all rolled out, I'm gonna put butter on the top. I've already got it melted over here. Put a little butter on top and bake them. And they only need to bake about 20 minutes because the meat inside is already cooked. I want a little delicious bite of cranberry in every one. Ooh, okay, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I can fit them all on this sheet. I spread them out too far. I'll make it work. I like parchment because it doesn't stick to the parchment, but it does stick to the foil. Or there might be a good and a bad side to the foil, and I haven't figured it out yet. Okay, I'm almost got these done. Then I'm going to rinse my hands and put the butter on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I must have made them a little big. We got a little bit more. A little bit less, I mean. Supposed to make about 16. So let me rinse a little bit. And get a spoonula. I'll just push a little butter on all of these. Well, if you leave it melted too long, it firms back up. I'm going to melt this again, spread it on these and put them in the oven. And when we come back, we'll top our pie and try both.
Here come the Men in Black trucks for all your home needs.
If you need repairs or a professional to check your home for damage, call the local guys you know and trust at AquaShield Roofing and Construction. Their 5-year warranty will give you the peace of mind you need from a company that will be there to stand behind their work. Call AquaShield Roofing and Construction at 785-475-2533 or visit aquashieldroofing.com today.
What a girl wants in her home kitchen. Ease of use, flexibility, fun, the latest kitchen design, Frigidaire Professional Real Stainless Steel for fewer finger smudges, a French door refrigerator, convection cooking, a quiet dishwasher. Have the staff at Genuine Appliance in Hayes demonstrate new Frigidaire Professional appliances to find what you want. Genuine Appliance at 1224 East 27th in Hayes. Everything a girl wants. Welcome back to Local Flavor. I put about 2 tablespoons of butter on all of these, and they've been in the oven around 20-25 minutes, and this is how they turned out. They look quite a bit like they went in, they just toasted them up a bit. I'm gonna give them a quick bite. Those are so good. Now it's true, it's using box stuffing mix, but who can get their pieces of bread tiny enough like the little stuffing mix boxes. I love how that's tiny, tiny pieces of bread. And they're always loaded with flavor. Very good and meaty. And I wanted a piece with the cranberry. It just makes you want Thanksgiving dinner all the more. Just a little taste of that. So, I feel like I've eaten my meat. Now I can have my dessert. Let's finish up our pie. I didn't make it look very pretty on the top yet, but we still have to put some whipped topping on. And I didn't make my own this time since we tried to get 2 things done at once. And did I tell you this half of this whipped topping was supposed to go in the cream cheese layer? I kind of layered it on top. These things happen on TV. It's not live, but it still happens. They always say that on Dancing with the Stars. Live TV. Oh, I will do a little thing that Janet taught me. She said, take your spoon and do this. It makes it look like you decorated it. I don't know, hers looked better, I think. Oh, Janet, I need you. Well, let's just eat it, it don't matter. I'll use my same plate. It's always so hard to get the first piece of pie out anyway, so it'll probably be a big mess. Sometimes, if you want to know the truth, I mean, just being honest, I'd just rather make a pie in an 8x8 pan where it's easier, or especially a jelly roll pan where it's easy. Like this one, I love to put the pie in this so it's just easy to scoop out. Because here we go, this is going to be hard to get. Trying so hard not to mess it up. When you know it's going to be messed up anyway. You can't even see the layers. Let me see if I can get it in here. If I get another piece. You know, a layer pie, that's the enchantment of it, is seeing the layers. Well, can you imagine the layers? You can kind of see them here if you go. But I will go ahead and taste it and let you know that it's really good. It's probably even messier because of my mistake and then all of that whipped topping on top. I love when you make your own crust. It's so delightful and melts in your mouth. And the pumpkin layer is so spicy and pudding-like. I love that too. So you've got to try this if you haven't yet. It's been around for a while. If you haven't tried it, do it and join us next time on Local Flavor.